Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I am Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye Tease Deck. Andy.
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, Hillary Clinton's campaign came up with 85 different slogans before settling on Stronger Together. I still think they should have gone with my suggestion. What difference at this point does it make? Plus, Canadians send a video message to Americans telling us we're great. And I think I speak for all Americans when I respond, what is Canada again? And finally, a new study claims female drivers suffer road rage more than males do. I could make a joke here, but Tom asked me not to because, quote, sexism is more of a Shillue thing. Tom.
Is that a quote, Andy?
Yeah, it was a quote. It said quote.
Okay, let's welcome our guests. I never attend a meeting without his rules of order. From the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts morning show on SiriusXM and the Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast, Sam Roberts. He enjoys life in the reasonable amount of speed lane. Reason Magazine Editor-in-Chief Matt Welch. She's been in more press rooms than a suit jacket at the dry cleaners. Fox News National Security Analyst KT McFarland. And he's not the antivirus Norton. No, he's very pro-virus. Sitting right next to me, also from the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts morning show on SiriusXM, Jim Norton.
Yes.
Okay, let's start the show. If at first you don't succeed, try 84 more times. The latest WikiLeaks email dump reveals Hillary Clinton's campaign tried 85 different taglines before settling on Stronger Together. Suffice to say, Don Draper does not work for the campaign. Here are some of the catchy phrases. She's got your back. A force for families. No quit. Renewing our basic bargain. A better bargain for all. Time for a better bargain. A new bargain we can count on. I'm not sure if she wants to be president or own a dollar store. A stronger America, one family at a time. Well, that won't take forever, will it? Progress for the rest of us. Making America work together. That one came out of a White House team building exercise. Your future, your terms. Secure the future. Whatever you say, John Connor. Keep moving. Don't turn back. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlights, people. Sam, what do you think? Those were just a sampling of the 84 slogans. Does this tell you that the Hillary campaign is a little bit overanalyzed?
Yeah, I feel like Crazy Eddie might have been writing some of those slogans. She's crazy.
Well, do you think she came up with the best one? Better together. It's a little boring, but
I guess it's better than the bargain we promised you, or whatever the other one was,
yeah.
or I'm with her. Yes, the one with the cankles, or I don't know. There were a whole bunch of a whole bunch of possible.
She does have two. I'm with her.
Yeah.
And Better Together. Right?
I didn't know that Better Together was the thing until this article. I also love that the article was like buried in the WikiLeaks emails. Something that nobody saw was this email.
Yeah.
Nobody saw any of them because nobody's been reporting on any of the WikiLeaks emails anyway.
I don't. How did that happen? They just the press is ignoring that, right?
Trump said a bad word on a bus.
That's right. So. I knew something happened to get our attention. KT, I think I was wrong. Stronger Together. That's what it was. Did you notice I said that wrong?
Yeah.
I said Better Together, but I got mixed up because
look, there were so many of them. I mean, now you know why these campaigns cost so much and what Hillary's spending her money on.
Yes.
Dopey stuff like this. You have to poll test it, and you have to have focus groups to tell you which one makes the most sense. The one I liked though was give it your best shot. I mean, give it your best shot. What is this, like is it an assassination attempt or a Donald Trump golf course or
Pat Benatar or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the one she didn't use, which was the only one that would made any sense, was the Ronald Reagan one.
Which was what?
Our time is now.
Our time, and he used that.
That actually was
wait a minute, didn't Reagan also use Trump's slogan?
Yeah, no, here's what nobody realizes.
Here we go.
And in fact, I mentioned this once to Trump, and he understood. He chose Make America Great Again because that was Reagan's 1980 campaign theme. I mean, I have my old 1980 Reagan buttons. It says Make America Great Again. Oh. And Trump says that he did it because Reagan was an outsider, Trump was an outsider. Reagan was dismissed as a TV star, same with Trump. Reagan didn't know anything about foreign policy. What did he know about economic policy? And yet Reagan turned out to be one of the greatest presidents in modern times. So I think Trump tried to sort of connect with that.
That wasn't Reagan's original slogan.
It was in 1980.
No, that was one of them. The original one was Jimmy Carter's a fruit.
Oh, well, it's similar. Now, Trump could use something like that, right? Or, I mean, I think Make America Great Again, obviously it works.
It is, yeah.
But do you think he went through 85 slogans like Hillary did?
No, he seems like a guy. He's a little too ADD for that. We all need a slogan. I have one.
Yeah.
What is your personal slogan?
I apologize. This normally works. Yeah, I think that she's probably more indecisive and obsessed with sounding right, and he's more just the type of guy that spits it out and says it. So the thing that makes it simple for him and easy is also the thing that gets him in trouble because he just spits it out and says it.
Yes.
So no, he probably went through one other one which was just totally unacceptable.
I mean, I find she's very, obviously everything she does, people say she's very scripted, but in these debates, people kept saying, oh, she's doing great in the debates, she's a great debater. But to me, I don't know, I've been watching these, I feel like she's just been repeating herself. She debated the same way 3 times in a row. Did you think that?
Yeah, but I just think that her natural charisma bubbles over. You know,
don't you think she sort of stopped being human about 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And had to learn now how to be human and how to laugh in the right way?
She's dressed like that guy at the end of the Twilight Zone, you know, how to better serve humans.
But she comes off more convincing when she's actually doing the robot, which she did in the Wednesday debate. Like, she didn't try to laugh, really.
Right.
She was kind of like just cold, spitting out the machine-ready kind of critiques, which is more convincing than her trying to act with her fellow humans.
Well, that's it. People say we don't want these robotic candidates. We can't stand the sound bites. We don't love the packaged, deal and everything. But then she goes and she debates that way, and everyone says, "Well, she's fantastic. She's a great debater."
Well, I mean, she's debating against Donald Trump, so I mean, it's a question of contrast. I think a lot of people would look like good debaters when debating against Donald Trump. He's just this weird creature who's unlike. This may come as news to you. You're referring your brow as if Donald Trump is a normal person.
He's not normal.
Tom, he's
not definitely
normal.
out there, and I don't even think he's a good debater. I sit there watching, and I think he should have said this, he should have said that. I don't think he's making good debate points, but at least he's real, right? I feel like there's something that I'm surprised that when after these debates that his numbers don't go up, because I feel like he's talking like a normal person.
Well, a normal person who talks, who starts off a paragraph here and then moves to a completely different continent here and then kind of goes here.
Even that's what I do. Did you ever watch this show?
Yes, you're not running for president. There's kind of a difference there, right? Okay. So, for him, it was always the problem, and this came up in the debates, is what happens when he has 2 uninterrupted minutes where he has to complete a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, even on stuff that I tend to agree with him more than I do with Hillary Clinton. I think Hillary Clinton's more of an international interventionist than I would like to be, for example. Mm-hmm. But I have no idea where he's going. They're talking about Aleppo and Mosul and kind of moving this border over here.
You're going to be so bored when this is over. Don't you think?
How do you mean? Oh, yeah, like it's over and
I have to... it's over. We're going to have to go back to Washington.
What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
She's masterful, though, because one thing she's really good at, I like Trump, but it's fun to watch her just kind of throw little jabs, knowing that he's not going to be able to hold back. Like, he's eventually going to
debate.
Have a cigar.
The choked bit in Mexico. That was just like, boop.
He doesn't. He goes for the bait every time. Yeah. It is amazing. Okay, moving on.
He was better this time.
You thought so?
Yeah.
Well, I still think he goes
she
for
didn't
it.
shimmy. When he takes the bait, she goes like this.
Yeah.
They're a little too flirty, though, as far as I'm concerned.
This election is stressing people out. Just look at this photo of a woman watching the debate. Oh, yes. Chin up, ma'am. Only 17 more days. And look at this image of a bulldog right after the debate. Hang in there, buddy. According to a new report by the American Psychological Association, more than half of Americans feel the presidential election has been a source of, quote, significant stress. And there's plenty of anecdotal evidence on Twitter. One man tweeted, "An old Facebook friend of mine just posted a status update saying she was admitted to the hospital today for election-related stress." A woman wrote, "Stress eating. This election is making me so fat. #debate. Another said, "This election is making my face break out. My stress-triggered acne issues will be solved on Tuesday, November 8, 2016. The election has also taken a toll on my next guest, Tim Diamond." Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, Tim, what effects is this election having on you?
Oh, it's ruining my life, Tom. I'm stressed out. I'm constantly on edge. I can't eat anything except Xanax and whiskey, just bottles and bottles of whiskey. I haven't slept since the primaries. I just spend all my nights tossing and turning while some Billy Mays knockoff tries to sell me the world's greatest sponge. My acne's back.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's my pores are just clogging up like some Greek man's shower drain. I've literally been tearing my hair out. Look at that head. That is not what I used to look like. I think I sent you a picture of what I used to look like. Do we have that? Yeah, look at that is what I looked like.
Wow.
That picture was taken on the day Ted Cruz announced his campaign. And then 1 year later, now I look like a frightened turtle just dying for a fix.
Is it affecting how you deal with other people?
What, you mean like am I taking it all out on my loved ones and ruining relationships, maybe? Am I forcing young children to watch The Road and Mad Max so they can prepare for their horrific future? Yeah, I might be doing that occasionally.
Well, I mean, how are you going to deal with the stress?
I've tried to, but apparently, according to my insurance company, you cannot get coverage for a medically induced coma. And I don't have deep enough pockets as evidenced by this just bomb shelter of a house I have here.
That is it looks like it's in tough shape.
My greenhouse is just crumbling behind me.
Tim, I hope you feel better.
Don't give me that glass half full. Just shove it up wherever. Don't fake that.
Why? Jeez. Maybe I should. He's not doing so well. Sam, what do you think of this? What was this? Are you feeling stressed? You're probably enjoying all of this, right?
I am enjoying all this. I think that this election is a litmus test for if you're a fun person or not. Anybody that's actually sort of disturbed by what's going on is not a person that would be any fun in any context of life. This is the funnest thing that's ever happened to any news cycle. Everything's falling apart. It's amazing.
I mean, I totally agree. I feel like these people who are, first of all, I think it's Democrats who are stressing out. Do you know any Trump supporters who are stressed out? I don't.
Well, it's like I wrote in my book, A Bevy of Choices. We get so caught up in our own point of view that this is so, because they're both so totally opposite. We're just self-centered asses, and we can't handle that somebody else might feel differently than we do. That's what the stress comes from. We just can't handle that somebody doesn't think the way we think or see it the way we see it.
But do you see it on, I feel like that it's that way on the left. I feel like that.
The right is that way too. Of course, we all feel like the other side does it. Yes. That's self-centered asses. We all think that we have it right and the other side is wrong.
Wait a minute. KT, do you agree with me that people on the left are the ones, they personalize, like do you remember the old feminist anthem? The personal is political. I feel like the left personalizes this more, despite what Jim says.
Oh, I think everybody personalizes it more.
Thank you.
All right, what happened? Who's going to agree with me?
Tom Shillue, have you noticed that there are some Republicans who don't like Donald Trump? Those people are probably the most stressed out people in this entire election.
That's it.
Yeah,
because their party is splitting apart. Because the things that they fought for their whole lives and their friends have fought for their whole lives, they're seeing those friends go on television and repudiate them on live TV. It's a little bit traumatic for them, and I can understand it.
You know what it is? The Trump supporters, they know what they were doing. They went all in. They pushed all their chips on the table, and they stood up. And they said, that's it. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for Trump.
But the Trump supporters, they get stressed out too, because the minute you say, well, Donald Trump can't be going on television and just saying she's a nasty woman, you can't say anything about what Donald Trump's doing without them going, but Hillary Clinton's a liar. Yeah. How could you say that about Trump when she's lying?
I see. Although, I mean, is that stress or is it just anger? I feel like they're just mad. They're not stressed out.
I don't have stress about it. Who cares? Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I have an opinion about it, but my opinion is no more important than anybody else's.
That's
become obsessed with well, I wouldn't say less necessarily. That's why it's the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts show, not Sam Roberts and Jim Norton show. But you know, we become obsessed with making people see it our way. When you finally just give up and realize I see it my way, and I don't need anybody else to see it my way. There's no pressure on me. It's not a reflection on me. So where's the pressure?
And that's it. Haven't we been through enough elections, KT? You're going to wake up. You're either your side's either going to win or they're going to lose, right? There's no reason to stress out about it.
Actually, this time I think there is a reason to stress out about it. Because,
what? Well, I don't know.
Well, look, it's interesting. It's fun. I mean, I can't wait to wake up in the morning to see what's going to happen next. But I think this one is, in fact, you know why? It's because I think the media has taken a role in it, where in the past, media really hasn't been for one side or the other. Some have been for one side, some have been for the other. But the mainstream media has so in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and I think that is a real threat to the Republic.
That's it. I always like to look at silver linings, and so when things are going badly, I always say, well, at least people know now. They know the whole thing is a complete sham. They know the press is a bunch of phony frauds. So, you know, if there's something good to be said, I finally maybe people realize what's up, what's going on in this world. Okay, you know the old saying, everybody's working for the weekend. Confucius, I believe, said that. Well, here's it's truer here in America than it is in Europe. A new study shows that the average European adult works 19% fewer hours than the average American. This translates to around an hour less each weekday and 258 fewer hours a year. Economists point to several reasons for the disparity, including higher taxes in Europe, meaning less incentive for them to work more hours, a wider range of incomes in the U.S., meaning more incentive for us to work hard to get promotions. And finally, my theory, Europeans are lazy foreigners. Does that make sense, my theory, Sam?
Yes, of course it makes sense. That's why we're the best country in the world.
There you go.
When you talk about the American dream, and people say I've accomplished the American dream, nobody ever goes over the highlights of their vacation. It's like, oh yeah, I worked here, I worked there, I took 2 weeks off to go and see that. No. The American dream is about putting the work in and doing it. If anything, this is a great article about how prideful we should all be at American work ethic.
That's it. Yeah. But you know,
productivity.
But yes. KT, the rest of the world doesn't think that. I think that Europeans do take pride. They sit back and they say, "Look at us! Look how good we're doing it. We take, we take our 8 weeks of vacation a year, and
have had not one net new job created in most European countries in decades."
That's right.
Yeah, look at that, and they talk about us as being, decrepit and lazy and self-indulgent. Look at the Europeans.
I think well, what do you think, Jim?
Here's a problem with those lumps over in Europe. Every time they get in trouble, we bail them out, whether it's from a war or they know financially that the dumb U.S. is going to help out, so why should they work? We're going to stick our faces in and be helpful. That's why they can relax, because they know that we're here and we're going to do it.
But are they relaxing? I mean, look at Europe. Their countries, France, Italy.
All they're doing is going to coffee shops.
Greece. But isn't it all falling apart?
It is.
When is Europe going to realize it's not working out, their welfare system?
Europe is under a lot of stress because of the refugee immigration crisis and a bunch of other things besides, for sure. And they are in denial about the cost of their welfare state. But the thing is, the reason why they have this much time vacation, it's mandated. They just have more government mandated how much you can work and how much you can't work and how much vacation you must give and how much a company has to offer maternity leave and all this kind of stuff in ways that we can't possibly imagine here until and unless Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren take over the government.
Well, isn't it also the unions too? I think now only 11% of our country is unionized, as opposed to...
And it's mostly government unions.
Yeah, so I think that's a problem too. I'm addressing that in my new book.
Yes, you are. Is that is that part of it?
Actually, in my new book, I address the whole thing about the taxes. So what you said originally, the Europeans don't work that hard because taxes are so high, right?
Yes.
What is your book called?
My call's Turning Point. What is yours called?
It was called Turning Points. Wait
a minute, you must have had the same person Hillary Clinton had to find out what her campaign name should be, right? Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you both come on when your books, I hope they come on at the same time. Okay, coming up. The people of Canada have a very nice message for America. I'll tell them where they can shove it. Canadians are so nice. They sent us all Americans a message. You guys are great. The Garden Collective, a creative agency based in Toronto, encouraged Canadians to get on social media and help cheer up Americans who are feeling beaten down by the brutal presidential campaign. They called it, "Tell America It's Great." Wow, sounds like such a sincere, nonpartisan gesture. Let's see the video. Stop, I already hate this video because of the cloying, friendly Canadian music. Okay, go on.
Hi, America.
What's up, America? Hey, guys. We're just up here in Canada talking about how great you guys are down there, and we thought we'd just send you a little bit of a love note.
We're big fans. We like you guys.
We know you've got some really big decisions to make. But as you're thinking about your future, we just want you to know that
you guys are great.
You really are great.
You invented the internet.
You guys are going to get humanity to Mars.
Your national park systems protect some of the most beautiful places on Earth.
All your diversity and all your openness.
The campaign's creator, Sherry Walzak, said, "It's no secret that America is going through a hard time right now. The election has exposed some pretty scary realities that will likely challenge them for years to come, regardless of who's elected. Stop pretending you're bipartisan. I could smell this a mile away that it was a Hillary ad. You love America as long as it's acting Canadian. We get it. You love yourself. You love the nationalized health care, the Justin Trudeau, the Barack Obama. And that's fine. You love left-wing politics. Just don't pretend you love America. The fact is, Americans are a mystery to most Canadians. They should admit that and make an honest video like this guy."
They'll watch the same movie again and again. I don't get that. Like, they've seen Die Hard. I don't know any American that's seen Die Hard less than 5 times. And you go, wait, the dude who hasn't shot his gun since he killed a kid jumps out and shoots the guy who's going to shoot Bruce Willis, and then Bruce Willis and his wife are saved, eh? You know the ending. Yippee-ki-yay, eh?
Jim, do you think these folks love America as much as they say they do?
Well, my favorite part of that video was at the end, the woman talking about diversity after 34 white people. That was really great, yeah. But no, I think that I like America, but I think they're being nice. They're trying to get us to forget Rob Ford, because we finally have worse candidates.
Well, later on in this campaign, well, I think somebody else sent, they encourage people to keep sending in videos. And a lot of people are comparing Donald Trump to Rob Ford. It didn't seem like an apt comparison to me. I mean,
No,
the guy,
I don't think so.
Rob Ford was a 100% winner. I love Rob Ford. There's no one I've ever loved more in politics.
Well, didn't he? It added a little bit of America to Canada, didn't it, with Rob Ford?
Oh, he was every man, just smoking crack, talking in a Jamaican accent. Who doesn't do that on the weekends?
Right? Yeah. Katie, I detect insincerity with these people, but why do they care?
So cynical.
Why do they care so much that Hillary gets elected?
I mean, why don't you just accept the fact that Canadians are actually really good people who like us?
What?
You want to know what happened after September 11th? The first people who came into the airports in the United States were from Canada. I mean, people in Toronto, the same kind of people who were in that ad, they chartered a couple of planes, they got on the planes, they came to New York, they went to the shows, they went shopping. New York was a ghost town. I mean, I really think Canadians are great. You're just also sort of, metro-cynical around here.
I am cynical.
A bunch of guys in lumberjack jackets saying
what
they love
kind
us.
of a Trump supporter are you? This was obviously, Matt Welch, you know what this was. This was a Hillary ad paid for by a foreign interloper.
My God, Tom, what has happened to you? When is this election going to be over and we can get our old Tom Shillue back? I'll agree with you on the hostage video tone of and your national park system protects many diversities of plant life. Like, no one has ever said that. Not even a Canadian has said this. I know they don't talk like that. They don't talk about the national park. That's like a Ken Burns, a cross section from his rib cage or something like that. That's not how an actual human. It would be like, hey, Yellowstone's awesome, which it is.
Yes,
right. You wouldn't talk about your national park system.
And they don't love everything. Obviously, they named the people in the video. They were just listing all of their favorite liberal projects that they like. Right?
The video was ripe with condescension. That video was made because Canada wants to act like they're great because they don't have this election going on right now. Canada's greatest export is gravy fries. Okay, they're not a great country.
It's the poutine.
And exactly. And they just want to glom onto us and be like, don't worry, we know great and you're great. You don't know great, Canada. You don't. We already are. And we don't need you telling us.
I think he's right, and I think they're afraid of Trump. It was a Hillary ad because they're afraid of Trump, and they're saying, like, you don't need to be great again, you're already great. Like, they're afraid we're going to vote for him just to be great again, and they're like, if we tell them they're already great, they won't have to vote for him and be great again because they're already great.
That's it!
It's their cowardice.
They love their own country, not America. Okay, coming up, he's got more bite than a zombie in a crowd of people. Halftime with Andy next. Welcome back. Time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed from TV's Andy Levy over in the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in Tim's house.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Clinton campaign tested 85 slogans. It's funny because as it turned out, the only one they needed was, I'm not Trump.
Well said. That's true.
Sam, you said you feel like Crazy Eddie might have been writing some of the slogans. just want to point out that Crazy Eddie himself passed away last month.
No.
Yes.
Oh, he really was nuts.
That was Did you know that he passed away last night?
Last month.
Oh, last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, no.
Oh, okay. It's such a coincidence making a joke within a month of a man's death.
Yeah. He was killed in a Nobody Beats the Wiz. More topical.
And it's like topical local. Was that very local, that joke?
Yeah. We are killing with millennials in Kentucky right now. KT, you said now we know why campaigns spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they spent more than $100 on this, something's seriously wrong.
No, that's the whole point. My guess is they probably spent $100,000 on this.
They must have just been emailing this stuff back and forth, right? They couldn't have paid people to come up with
Well,
that.
if they emailed it, we'll find out soon enough. Which
That's true. Yeah. Jim, I did some digging. I could find no record of Reagan's original slogan being "Jimmy Carter's a fruit."
Because the hats and the shirts and the buttons were all burned in a warehouse fire.
Really?
Yes.
An accidental warehouse fire?
No, it was set purposely in 1979, which was really ironic. It was a year earlier.
Interesting. Also, you said that Trump probably came up with one other slogan before "Make America Great Again," and it was just awful. I believe it was just grab him in the,
Yeah, well, mine was something with Hillary's blunt, and I just didn't finish it.
Tom, I don't think anybody sane is saying Hillary is a great debater, as you claim they were. It's just that, as Matt pointed out, Trump makes her look good somehow. And it's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, I think you and Matt will probably say that when you were hanging around the bar, but I'm flipping the channels last night and everyone's talking about the debating expertise of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, no, she's nowhere near good at it.
She's not good at it.
No.
They say it, though.
Yeah. Well, all right.
That's the conspiracy.
There you go.
Yeah. Rigged.
Matt, you said you have no idea where Trump is going when he talks. Yeah, it's something. Trying to suss out his syntax is an interesting experiment.
I've always said that his biggest enemy is the transcript because you actually see. I mean, in journalism, when you do a nice long quote of someone, it's a map into how their brain works, right? It's a pretty interesting way to do it. And so, a nice long quote from Trump is a map into an epileptic fit for the most part.
People are suffering from election stress. So, Tom, the American Psychological Association, they're the ones that did this study. They broke it down by generation. It turns out millennials and old people are the most stressed about the election. Gen Xers like me are the least, and baby boomers like you are right in the middle, which I thought was interesting.
It's funny. He has this joke.
I'm a baby boomer. You're
I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. Andy has this running thing. It doesn't even make any sense.
Does he even know any baby boomers? Andy, do you know any baby boomers?
I know a ton of baby boomers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where are they?
I know you.
No, one?
I know Tom.
I don't think so.
And I know several others. Sam, you said this election is a litmus test to see if you're a fun person. Really? This is, at this point, this is fun to you?
It's a blast.
Like, I'm not stressed out about it. I don't, the whole stress eating and breaking out is absurd, but fun?
Yeah, no. Even when I think it's not going to be fun anymore, it's fun to watch a guy on a debate refer to Hillary as a nasty woman, just out of nowhere. She's what a nasty woman. That's hilarious and fun.
Yeah. Okay. Jim, thank you for calling Tom a self-centered ass.
Well, I was just speaking in general terms, and then Tom stuck his face right in the middle of the discussion.
Yes.
It had to be addressed.
He really did. No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, go ahead. What the heck?
No, it was about Tom again. I feel like I've done that enough. Europeans work less than Americans. Sam, you said this is a great article that points out how proud we should be of the American work ethic. Yes. I agree. My favorite part of this, the New York Magazine piece on it, they attributed the whole thing to, well, Europe has strong unions and we don't. Which, as Jim pointed out, is a part of it, but completely leaves out the part about there being higher taxes in Europe and a wider range of incomes in the U.S., meaning you want to advance in the U.S. or you're willing to work harder, as Tom astutely pointed out in his story read.
Yes. I just think it means that we have a better work ethic, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're stronger people.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting how they spun it. They were just trying to make it, well, this is all because we don't have strong unions. No, that's...
No. So the conclusion is if we get strong unions, we'll be like the Europeans?
Yeah, which is apparently what they want.
Oh.
Yeah.
They should move.
Yeah. Tom, you pointed out that Europe is all falling apart. You cited places like Greece and Italy. This is true, and in fact, this is a large part of the reason also for these stats. Italy and Greece have high unemployment rates, so those people are working, 0 hours, which kind of brings down the average hours worked in those countries. Because they didn't just look at people who were working, and in terms of the total hours, they looked at the working population, working age population. Did that make any sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Canadians say Americans are great. Tom, you noted that the woman who made the video said it's no secret that America is going through a hard time right now. The election has exposed some pretty scary realities that will likely challenge them for years to come, regardless of who's elected. And then you said, stop pretending you're bipartisan. I could smell from a mile away this was a Hillary ad.
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, but I don't think she's even pretending to be bipartisan. What she said was the election has exposed some pretty scary realities that will challenge America for years to come, regardless of who's elected. Meaning, from her point of view, even if Hillary wins, which is what she wants, Trump and his supporters have exposed this pretty scary reality.
Well, I mean,
I agree with you that I just don't think they were trying to be bipartisan.
I think the whole thing was, look at the articles that are written about it. Oh, Canada sends a love letter to America. It's ridiculous. It's a campaign ad.
Yeah, well, who were the people that wrote those articles, Tom?
New York Times.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, thank you for bringing up the national park system thing. Of all the things about America, that's one they mentioned?
I mean, you don't mention the system. You mention the place that you visited and really liked, right? God, I really like the Housing and Urban Development Department. That's really getting me happy.
Just lastly, KT, you said, why not just accept that Canadians are really good people who like us? Because that's no fun. Come on.
Gosh, it really is so sad. What happens if somebody says, Andy, you're just a really great guy. You're funny. I love to be around you.
If that ever does happen, I have no clue how I would react.
I'll tell you how you'd react. You'd hand her $300 and she'd leave.
Well, now I've made him $300. Damn. I am done, Tom.
Thank you, Andy.
That's probably what I'd say.
Yeah. Coming up, are women more likely to get road rage than men? I think this video says it all. Actually, I don't know what this video is. A new study suggests that contrary to previous research, road rage affects women more than men. Researchers analyzed the reactions of 1,000 drivers in the UK to the usual frustrations behind the wheel. According to the data, women were 12% angrier than men. One possible reason? A researcher explained. Evolutionary theory suggests our early female ancestors had to develop an acute sense of danger for anything that threatened them and their young if their cave was undefended while men were out hunting. That early warning system instinct kicked in during the driving test when women were put under stress, such as being shouted at or beeped at. Interesting. Jim? Should women not be allowed to drive?
I don't disagree, Tom. I think, at least for 4 days a month. A lot more honking. I never noticed women have more. I have a lot of road rage, so I never noticed a woman having road rage.
You haven't?
No.
You would say it's men?
Yes, but usually their anger is directed at me, so I've never had to get they're getting pissed off at other cars. It's usually I'm the problem.
KT? I think this makes sense to me. Not, they might not go out and get in fights like the guy.
Well, I think that's the key thing, right? Because women feel the stress more, but they don't necessarily act on their emotions.
That's it. So the rage,
that's the key.
It's the rage within. That's even worse, isn't it, KT?
Yes, let's get psychological on this.
I mean,
I don't drive.
You don't drive?
Well, why should I?
Why should you?
Right.
Tell the driver, take a right, take a left, drop me off here, right?
That's my husband, actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think this proves it, that men, they deal with it better. They let it out, right?
I think the reason that women have more road rage is because they're in positions to get angrier because they're terrible at driving.
That's it.
Women are very bad drivers, and it's a lot more than 12%. They're lousy at driving. So they end up in situations where other people are mad at them.
Your wife is watching this show?
She's a terrible driver. I let her know. Yeah, the women are bad at driving, so people get mad at them, so then they get mad at the people, and women also tend to get very upset very easily.
Yeah.
So all this rage builds up when honestly, These women are the problem.
I mean, you know what you say makes sense in some way.
Right.
KT, women don't, the thing is, but maybe it's just, in my experience, women
Keep
don't.
talking.
They don't like driving, KT, do they?
Well, you don't
You'd
drive,
rather have
but
your
you're
husband
bad
drive,
at
wouldn't you?
driving, you know?
Well, I do recall one time Sam and I went to have dinner with his wife, and I remember the car had to be parked.
Well, I didn't say parking, I said driving.
Because I remember I was...
Not a great parker?
No, his wife parked the car because he's not a good parallel
It was a
parker.
left side parallel. It wasn't even right side.
What?
It was a left side parallel.
You talked all that smack and you got out parallel parked by your wife?
It's moments like this where I get upset.
That is what cut finally means. Jesus Christ.
It's moments like this.
This study is garbage. It starts off by saying that despite all the studies to the contrary, this one study shows a 12% effect, and it's in the Daily Mail, and it's British women. Are they even women? I'm not sure. They drink more than their men anyways. They're different people. Everything about this is garbage, but not as garbage as him talking smack about his wife when she out parallel parks you. That is embarrassing.
That's parking, not driving, and it's moments like this where I wish that Jim Norton had not found his sobriety, because apparently he's got a great memory now.
Yeah.
Pick up the drink again.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like Sam wasn't being emasculated. We stood outside and looked at chicks.
All right, coming up, a Wendy's employee advertised his mixtape outside the restaurant. I hope he got permission first. Mike Bars, an up-and-coming rapper in Illinois, has a mixtape out. As you can see, Mike works at Wendy's, and I don't think he asked for permission to do that. He posted the photo on Facebook with the caption, "So, yeah, I'm fired." Turns out, Mike pulled the stunt for self-promotion. He told Mashable.com, "My mixtape downloads were not getting the numbers as expected. So in order to reach my goal, I knew I had to do something absurd and of the unthinkable." Mike ended up not getting fired. Now, I got hold of his mixtape. Let's have a listen.
My car's way too clean. If only I could start this fine piece of machine. I'm loving it.
I think I understand why Wendy's might be a little bit upset. Sam, what do you think? He's good at self-promotion.
I think he's an entrepreneur, and I far prefer this to the mixtape promotion that I'm used to, which is getting strong-armed in Times Square.
Yeah.
You know, for a mixtape that I thought was free, and let me tell you, turned out not to be free after all.
Oh, see, I suspected that. I've never taken one of those. Oh. But when you take the CD from them, then they say, "Here, take it."
Right.
What do they do then? They demand money?
And then they sign it for you, and then they look at you and they ask for a tip, but it's clear in their eyes that they're going to pummel you.
Yes.
If a tip isn't given.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's no wonder I didn't take the mixtape. Well, what do you think? A guy's got to get his music out there. I say I applaud him. What do you think, Matt Welch?
Well, also then, the Mr. Robot television program taught us that when you put the CD in your computer, it takes down the global financial system. Yeah. So that's important.
That's true.
To remember. This guy's great. I mean, the fact that you can even last at a fast food job for longer than 6 weeks is shocking to me. That's how long I lasted at McDonald's back in the day. They tried to make me work during the World Series. I mean, that's not humane, right?
It is not humane.
No, he's great.
Didn't you have a transistor radio back there to listen to it?
I'm not a boomer like you are, Tom. He's great. I mean, he's got a better troll game than most people in the Trump campaign. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him in politics.
There you go, KT. He didn't want to work at Wendy's anymore. I think this is show a lot of spunk.
I think it's terrific. And I particularly like the Tom Shillue sign that was in front of Fox News today.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, I need a little promotion, right? Where's my big picture next to Megyn Kelly? Jim, what do you think? You like his music?
You know, here's the humiliating part. I was actually enjoying that song until I realized it was a McDonald's song. I really should be smashed in the mouth. I was like, this guy's pretty good.
Wait, they use top musicians, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but you still don't want to be tapping to a McDonald's song.
All right, very special thanks to my panel. I want you to listen to these guys' show. I love your radio show, guys.
Oh, thank you
Every
very
morning,
much.
it's my new morning habit, Sirius XM. Jim, what's the official name of the show?
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We're on channels, what is it, 206 and 103?
XM 103, Sirius 206.